that the Hindu king giving to the Buddhists. We have Hindu kings giving to Islam. We have many Hindu kings giving to Christianity. So we never looked at them from different angles. And the king is not supposed to look at the people, divide them into minority, majority, and so on. This is a very unfortunate thing that has been introduced. And this is high time that we say this. Let us amend the constitution. Get out all this and you look at man as a man. In the eye of a man, he must be looked at only as a man. Why do you give special privilege that man alone to have 10 wives? I cannot have 2 wives. Why? If that is applicable to, this is applicable to me. This constitution must treat me along with all people, not one group. And let them not talk to us about secularism. This is a wrong approach. This is not our approach. For what did we get? Why did we sacrifice so many thousands of people? Jallianwala Bagh, 200-year-old celebrating, we are celebrating this year. Hundreds and hundreds of people have sacrificed their life. For what? Because we should rule ourselves with our own system. There may be bad things, there may be good things, but we need freedom and we need equality. 1 minute. This is from Kilan, the king of Sri Dharma. So he gives to Arya Sangha, the Buddhists, and also the Brahmanas. They tell us in our textbook, Buddhism came as an opposition to Brahminical culture. Great Pranila Thapa, and then they write history saying that this appeared as because the Hinduism was so bad, Buddhism, they neither know Buddhism nor Hinduism, and they read about it. And we read the history of Hinduism. But let me tell you one thing very secret, don't tell other people. Our Tamil people are more clever, so they thought, why all this history? So remove history from our textbook. Completely, they have removed history. Then we talk of Marabu, our Marabu. What is your Marabu? No history. So, next one please. In this instance, the donor is a follower of Hindu religion and he gave to Buddhist establishment. Treated all religions alike. When he sits on the throne, he is supposed to look at all man as a man. And look at Manu, what he says is Samadarsana. You must have look, common, equal look between man and man when you are looking at them. Not get a poke from there to here to glorify. I can't go back to my place because it's going to be very difficult privilege. It's not required. It's not ours. It's not for which all these thousands of people have sacrificed. I must rule myself, whether it is good or bad. That is the result of our independence. So let them not tell us about. I will come to that later. Next one. Number of inscriptions of the eastern Chalukyas of Vengi. Vengi is in the eastern part, Chalukyas. And they are given in the copper plates, a number of them. They give the complete list of kings who ruled for 10 generation or 12 generation, the name of the king, the number of years he ruled, and the significant contribution he has made to the society. We have the complete list, and there are many such carpet players, and they tell us that we don't know history. Why not? You look at it. Written documents are there, hundreds. It's not my view. Read it. And tell your own people to tell their people how they were great. So, friends, that's why I referred to at the beginning that our district gazetteers and district manuals telling us that we don't know history is how mischievous it is to make us slaves. And we continue, after independence, we continue probably more vigorously than when the Britishers were there, and keep us in this type of slavish system. Luckily, there are signs of recovery. Hopefully, younger generation will take it up and tell them no. Next. Sometimes the carpet charters mention more than 10 or 12 generations of rulers. Next. Now this is Krishna Savarat Charati Mrigaha. I am giving you the original. Krishna Savarat Charati Mrigaha Yatra Swabhavataha Saha Yajnyo Desaha. Next. Now I am giving you some ideas about what you call your Manu's Dharmasastra, because they are so fresh, so relevant to modern ideas. Look at what he says. When wages are paid either as cash or grain for daily, wages are paid for daily wage earners, it must be given as cash. This is the prescription. In addition to daily payment, they should be paid clothing allowance once in 6 months. The laborers. 8 handful of grain is called kunji, and 8 kunji is equal to pushkala. 4 pushkalas are equal to 1 adaka. 4 adakas are equal to 1 droni. So they give you the grain measurements with which you have to pay the persons who are working. Next one. Payment of grains may be effected on monthly basis. Daily wages cash, but when it is grains, you must pay it on monthly basis. For higher or special services, special allowances should be paid. This is all given in the Manu's Dharmasastra. Taxation should take into consideration the following points with reference to business or merchandise. Next, the cost of the product for taxing, cost of the product, cost of transportation, cost of food and personal expenses, cost of distance, profit, all these must be taken into consideration when you are going to tax the businessman. And this is called the Manu Dharmasastra. Don't you think it is so modern? Next. After calculating all the overhead charges, the tax should be determined. And protection from theft en route, this must also be insurance. Yeah. All these should be taken into consideration. Next. Now this is the next one. We have already seen it. Well, this is a Pandyan vow. Next. Now, the king should punish the criminal. A man commits crime, he must be punished. What are the crimes? There are many types of crime. They lift the bed of the crime. One is called Vaparushyam. If you tell lie or insult a man with your wrong words, Say you call him a chowkidar, no, you call him or a chor. This is considered a serious crime on those days. You can't say, no, I withdraw my thing. That too after, are you going to do it or do you want the court to make you do it? Then he says, yes, thoda sa guilty ho gaya. Now that type of judgment is not acceptable in ancient times. Navinam sutta vedi. You can take back anything, but you fellow, you are a criminal, you tell in the public, what you are, media. Parliament. Parliament, you come and say he is a chore. If you are not able to prove it, the next moment you are inside. Padala Karagriham. It is called Karagriham. That is the place for him who says that you are a chapidar, so if you are not able to. So this is called Vak Parushyam. It is the duty of the king. And then they say it is also for your own thing, because you have committed a sin. Unless you undergo the punishment, the sin will not be washed. For your own progress, you must go into the Karagraham. Don't allow him to be outside. Next. The king should spend all his time in protecting the people. He must be thinking only about protecting. Should appoint 2, 3 or 5 as leaders of a group of people. How they administer, group them into 5. We should constitute 100 villages into one unit. And that should protect the group. Next. Each village, there must be a village headman. These are all prescription. These are called vidhi. These are rules. Administrative rules cannot be transgressed. 10 villages should be grouped into one headman. Likewise, 20 villages should be constituted into another group. And the third one, 100 villages grouped together. So 10, 20 or 100 are the village groups that should be constituted under each. And it was the duty of this man to go and tell the king what is happening there. Next. The problems of villages should be solved by themselves. Not a judge who is there 100 miles away. I have to go to get redress of Ramesh will tell you, we have to go such a long distance to file a case. That fellow doesn't know who is this fellow who comes here, whether he is an honest fellow or dishonest fellow. Otherwise, if he gives a wrong, uncomfortable judgment, you transfer him. All this, that is not the ancient system. The villagers themselves who know who is this fellow, how he has been behaving in his lifetime, and whether he can be relied upon, whether it is a small case or a very serious case. So it must be settled by the villagers themselves first. So Grama Parishad was much more important, much more active and much more democratic than what we have today. Our villagers have no role for what you call a tank, which is misappropriated, and all the pedestrian misappropriated for petty shops. These cannot be allowed by the people. You see, the problems of the villagers should be solved themselves. Or 10, 20 or 100. We have Jayamunda Sola Mandalatti, Pudiyur Kotatti, Kulottunga Chola Vadanatti, Velicheriyana, Velacheri, Gramam. See, you get in all these our revenue records for nearly 2000 years. The revenue records tell us what is the mandala, what is the sub-territorial revenue division, who is responsible for it and all. Absolutely all of them are mentioned. And we had different registers at the village level. And you can say district level, Nadu, it is called Nadu at district level. And also the royal palace, about this revenue proprietorship, who is owner, what is the area, what is the fertility of the soil, all these things are all recorded in Volai and they were preserved, minute detail. If you go along one street now, you will see all the shops projecting forward. We have no record what is this outer limit, what is the inner limit, all pedestrian shop. There is no pedestrian. Is there any pedestrian way now in township? Petty shop. And nobody can set it right. So, see, 20, 100 villages could jointly settle if it is a very serious matter. Otherwise, they can go to the king, who has to take a decision. Next. 1,000 villages headed by Purapati. I think it is something like our corporation, something like that. Administrative section to oversee the work of all these villages. There are separate administrative sections. Each town should be headed by an individual for protection. It is his responsibility to protect the town people. He must have enough police now. You know. Here, the head should be efficient, not based on scheduled cars or scheduled drive or this stuff. Yes, we should give them some help to study, come up in life and all that. But when it comes to administration, when it comes to efficiency in all work, it is efficiency that is emphasized. Yogyarai Irvar. That he is fit to man that particular post. Next. The responsibility of protecting people from looters of others' wealth. Specifically mentioned, looters of others' wealth. Protections are called batas. Those who grab others' property or money should be excommunicated from the country after confiscating all his wealth. Send him out. Throw him out of the country. But don't give him any money from here. All money, property, confiscate everything and send him out. That is what is mentioned in Manu. Don't you think it's extraordinary? Rules and regulations of the administration. Next. Manu also approves the appointment of women in many fields. This is very important. They say women empowerment. Human empowerment was there. He has specifically mentioned that they must be appointed. And they must be paid their fees on daily basis. Don't wait for a month or something like that. And there are several categories of officers, senior officers, middle level officers, and large level officers among women, those who occupy it. We have special inscription coming from Thiruvayyaru. திருவையாறுல ஒரு கோயில் ராஜராஜனோட வைஃப் கட்டினா உலக மகாதேவின்னு பேரு. அங்க ராஜராஜன் சேஸ் தஞ்சாவூர் நாம் எடுப்பித்து திருக்கற்றளி ஸ்ரீ ராஜராஜேஸ்வரனுடையாருக்கு நாம் கொடுத்தனவும், நம் பெண்டுகள் கொடுத்தனவும், நம் அக்கன் கொடுத்தனவும் மற்றும் கொடுத்தால் கொடுத்தனவும் கல்லிலே வெட்டுகிறார். He gave the orders, ராஜராஜா. At Thiruvayyaru, Loka Mahadevi, she says, Thiruvayyatrupal Nam Medipitha Tirukkattali. This is the order of the queen. Nam Medipitha Tirukkattali. Loka Mahadevi Swaramudayarukku. Nam Kuduttana. Kalile Vettiya. And who is the supervisor? There was an Adhiharichi who was looking after the entire property, protection and so on. And below her, we had the commander, Senadipati is taking order from this Adhikari. So women were Adhikaris. Women have participated in public auction We can give you many, many instances. Women had their own treasury. They had their own administrative units. All these are there in Chola records. Next. Now we come to 5 minutes.
Please go.
Village democracy. This I may have to take a few minutes. The concept of democracy is not new to Bharat. This must be underlined. What is it? It goes back to the times of the Vedas. In Veda we have Parishad, we have what is called Sabha, Sabhapati. All these are recorded in Vedas. And when we say Parishad, who is entitled to be elected to rule the village or the judiciary or the administration. So then the elected representative were controlling the rule of villages under the name of Parishad. In Tiruchur we have the temple, and the temple says Moola Parudaya. Paruda is Parishad. Moola Paradaya. Kumbakonam Nagaswamy temple, Moola Paradaya. So Parishad was the system of Sabha in our villages, ancient villages, and that's how they were controlling it. Next. Early inscriptions of such Parishads are seen in Kumbakonam, Tiruchur, near Chennai, and other places where they are referred to as Moola Parishad. And there are some committees in them. Next. The most amazing inscription about elections to village assembly comes from Uttarameru. Uttarameru Chaturvedi, not far away from there. It's interesting to go and see that village. Still it retains that old settlement, how it was originally. And the center, Madhya Desa, which is called Brahmasthana, there was a mandapa where they were elected and they carried out secular transaction for more than 600 years. Every decision that the village assembly took, it is recorded there. For 600 years, the Pallavas, Cholas, and later Cholas, and so on. And how they deliberated, how they took the decision, how they were elected, all these things are all detailed, in detail. Next. Look at that. This is the base of that mandapa, centrally located at, you can see the inscriptions. Long inscriptions all over it. And you have Pallava inscription, Chola inscription, and later inscriptions. And in all these inscriptions, what do they say? Who is the king? Who is the dead? What is the revenue division of this village? What is the purpose for which this order has been given? Who took the decision? Who were the people? On which date? Which time? Where did they assemble? And what was the final decision? If you don't carry out the decision, what is the punishment? This is how the whole thing is written down. And they tell us we don't have records. We don't know how to maintain records. All these records were thrown out when the British came. And we were told no records. And the British only told us how to maintain records. Next. The qualification fixed for a candidate to stand for election must have some basic knowledge, education. He is elected to give sort of a decision. He must know what is law, how it should be administered. A fellow who is in the street, he can be selected and he can be elected, and he will enact a law. It's not possible. So, he must have some basic educational qualification. Otherwise, he cannot stand for election. Next. He must, he must have minimum immovable property within the area. He must be a man of that, so that you can catch him if he does wrong. Otherwise, you are in Virat and some fellow in Kanyakumari, he does all mischief and runs away, and you cannot catch him. But the people know, if he is a villager, residing there itself, get him there. So, he must have minimum immovable property. Must have relatives who will stand surety for him. This fellow runs up, you catch hold of his relatives. So no relative will come forward to give surety unless he is an honest man. That's the problem. And then must be above 35 years of age and should be below 70 years of age. You must have some experience in dealing with the public. This is a question of administration. You may be a great man, intelligent man, very efficient man, but you must have some experience in dealing with men and matters. And so, the minimum age of 35 is prescribed. And a maximum age is also given the limit, not that 89, 90, 94, something like me, want to stand in election. Once you are elected, till you are taken to the cemetery, you are the MLA, you are the MP. That was not possible. Tell me, what is democracy? They talk of democratic tradition, democratic value. Is this democratic value or this one is democratic value? Many politicians used to ask me, where is the Uttara Mehboob inscription? I used to send them, they would read, Hare Baba, don't do it. Not a single fellow can be elected to these rules are applied. See, so 35 years and 70 years. We have examples of 94, 95, 96, don't know, can't see, you can't hear, and still he is a member. I say he is a member. 12th time he has been elected. Democracy. And this is village democracy. Next. One cannot stand for more than 3 terms in his lifetime. Look at that. Qualification, a man can stand only 3 times in his lifetime. And that too, once he is elected, in the next election he cannot stand. There must be a gap of about 5 years before the other fellow gets the second term, and after the third term is kicked out. He cannot stand. So you can't say that my party man has been elected for the 12th time. It is against democracy, not democracy. Only one from a family can stand. Look at that. Only one. But do you know, in modern time, 49% of the congressmen who are elected, they are all family group in India today. 49%, is 50%. Myself, my son, my grandson, my daughter, daughter-in-law, power's daughter.
Your dog and cat can also stand.
Huh?
Your dog and cat can also stand.
Yeah. Not possible. So, you don't tell us what is democracy. These fellows now sitting down in Delhi, go on telling, oh, democratic system, this is the way. Don't talk about democracy. You don't know what is democracy. You have never felt what is democracy. Look at this 2000-year-old inscription. It's not mine. You can go and read it. It is in Chola inscription, Chola characters, luckily preserved by the British. Only one from a family can stand for election and others cannot stand for 5 years. Not only he, his relatives cannot stand for 5 years. Next. At that point of time, the population was hardly few. It's not so bad. We were only 30 kodi janagal in Sangam, Bharath in 1925 he sang 30. Now we have 130 crores of people. But yet, if one man is elected, there must be another man who should be given the chance. And we have enough talents in amongst us, youngsters amongst us who can do that. But you don't. You don't allow another man to come in the name of party. You have myself, my sister, my son, my grandson, all these people, party system of government. And you say democracy. Where is democracy? Democracy was in India. Democracy was in the village level. From there you go up. Next. See, when we have even 30 members of a family, not only get elected, but all are made the members of the ministry. When one fellow was jailed, imprisoned for swindling money, 60 crores for the fodder given to the cow, he immediately next day put his wife there as chief minister, and then his son and his daughter-in-law, all of them, this is they call democratic. And these are protected, well protected. No, we had a different type of democracy. Now, next one. The disqualifications are far more severe. This is very interesting. And I think we will finish it with this. The disqualification, the following were disqualified from standing for election for 7 generations. Nearly for 150 years, no member of the family can stand for election. But not only he, but also his relatives were debarred from standing for election. Next. Any form of corruption, the first disqualification. So all fellows can be seen. See? Any form of corruption, it is called kayutu. Kayutu means you give money like this. Then, misappropriation of government funds. You give free, everything free, only for the election. So the other man will come, you have given only 3, I will give 5, as if it is his own property. You and I, we pay for the tax and these fellows give it. And this is it. So misappropriation of government funds, theft of other man's property, failure to render proper account, no accounts. You are right. You see, all these temples are endowed with lands for worship, for festival, and this money is supposed to be audited by government auditor, and the executive officer is expected to be only looking after it. They have grabbed everything. This fellow will go and stand in the festival so that something will be there. Executive officer. And he doesn't give proper account. Accountant comes, he goes through it. There is no account for nearly 60 crores or 200 crores. Where did you get this money? Where did you deposit the money? Which is the bank? Have you got a checkbook? Where you have entered it in the register? Nothing is there in our book. Am I right, sir? Nothing is there. And they say, and we must also admit our own foolishness. Whenever we talk of renovation, oh, big renovation. Then hundreds of people are coming. Oh, see, hundreds of people are coming. I don't think Hinduism depends on these hundreds of people who come with foolish ideas. We need uprightness, spatika, like spatika. The temple should be like pure, transparent. You can see that. That's what the ancient rules say. But this has been misappropriated by the government. He is a man who is fighting, and our judiciary is so efficient. Adjourn. Finally today they said they are asking too many adjourn. Sin died. Adjourn sin died. Abdi oru case irukka? Next. Who usurps another man's wife? There is a TV star, and this fellow is living with her. This is a public ethics, morality, and he is Netaji, old Netaji of the party, and he performs chili home yajnam, Mudabdiyagam. You know Mudabdiyagam? Have you seen that Mudabdiyagam? Have you heard of Sarpayagam? Here this fellow makes Mudabdiyagam, and the earliest thing he was kicked out. He didn't get around 20 votes, you know. He is protected by the media as a leader, Netaji. What is Netaji? You must be ashamed of it. Look at this. Father Mansour, accused of rape, drunkards. Those days they used to say, battle, everything will be solved there. Now I think that is not there. But they used to say before, one peg will do, you can purchase anybody in Delhi, those days. Next, one who acts against the interest of the state. They are called day in and day out. In the name of opposition, you only act as a thorn in the progress of the nation's interest. They are called kandakas, like thorn. As if he has got the right to ask whatever. You have no right. You have to work for the freedom and prosperity of this country. If you don't, throw him out. But we have strengthened ourselves with all these amendments to the Constitution, and unfortunately, our Constitution has adjournment. Now, one who acts against the interest of the state, there are many. And what he says is the enemy says, he repeats what he says there. Pakistan Ranga, you are in the Pakistan Ranga. All these are Rama Kantakas, and it is the duty of the rulers to push them inside once for all, so that the country, in the interest of the people, push them inside. Right? Accused of any one of the Pancha Mahapatakas. This includes blatant lying. Is there any lie higher than in the Supreme Court itself, among the 5 judges? Yes, I did a big mistake, I stole a lie. Is there any lie bigger than that? That fellow is yet to be punished for this. You know? Am I right? Judgment will be a fellow tells lie publicly in the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court tells him, accept it, otherwise he will push you inside. And he is the leader G. Like. Next one. So, next one. Such men are disqualified for such generation, 7th generation. His father, look at this, please, this I will close. His father, father's brothers, mother's brothers, and their families, brother, son-in-law, daughter-in-law, we have to get daughter-in-law, and relatives, and all others, and one who tries to help him to escape or disqualified from standing for it. The entire family for 7 generations cannot stand for election. Are we not justified in asking? Don't you think that our system of judiciary was far, far superior than what we have here? Look at them. Relatives. List of relatives given in inscription, 10,000-year-old inscription. So friends, there are many more that I wish to stop to you, but it is just sufficient. That gives you an idea that in the field of administration, in the field of judiciary, in the field of what you call all aspects of village administration, they cared more for the villager than for the town man, than for businessman. So the democracy was rooted in our country, and this is seen in the inscriptions. That is written record from Kashmir to Kanyakumari and Afghanistan to Assam. It's not only in that, every field of human life, we have hundreds and hundreds of records as documents, written documents, 7th century, 8th century, 10th century, so on, which say India was one. Kashmir to Kanyakumari. You can decide whether there was Indian nationalism in ancient times or not, or what the white man says is what we study as nationalism today. It's left to you. But please go with the idea that we were not fools. We were not superstitious. We have thought more in a more primitive state of living than what all facilities you have. And so it is high time that we tell the people that you had a better administrative system, better democratic system, and let it be put into the text. Now you don't have any text which talks about all this, and that will be paid service to you. Thank you very much for listening.
Questions? Yes. Just put it to us, so I'll about 4 to 5 questions, please. Yeah.
The first question will be mine.
Yes.
So, in one of the slides, sir, you were mentioning about drawing gods in the pillars and then giving bali to it, right? So, can we say from that the pagans they refer to, or the different cultures from the other parts of the world were actually following our ancient tradition and culture?
I didn't get the question correctly, but you are talking about that God on the pillar.
No, he wants to know whether Hinduism was there all over the world at a point of time. The gods were the same because Bali Kudukaran solrom.
Mayans, pagans, pagan Mayan.
You see, God is called Divya, Deva, that which you cannot see. God is that which you cannot see. He has no form, no rupa, no text. Ananda, Purnanda, Adiyumanda. Devaram says, Ananda, Purnanda, Adiyumanda. So, what we do is in our poor state of suffering, we expect some super power coming to us and protect us from the calamities that we are going to do. But the more and more you study Hinduism, this is not based on miracles. It's not based on miracle. This is only a weak mind for some time to get strength to suffer and go progress. That we look to gods which we imagine ourselves. The second type of images that we have is our ancestors who left their life for protecting us. They are deified and also carved in pillars, and they are worshipped. And we believe that our ancestors will help us. That is really a strength, mental strength. Hinduism is based on realization of your own knowledge, your own expanding knowledge, which is light, what is called light. And so what we do is invoke the presence of divine, whom we don't know. And we say that in this pillar he is there, in this image he is there, or in the processional deity he is there, he will protect me. He cannot give you a beautiful car, he cannot give you a beautiful wife, he cannot give you a pass in the school education. These are not the work of God. He can give you a strength, mental strength to take the suffering and move forward. That's all. And for that you require some form. Initially you need a form, and that is what all these temples, temple images, sculptures and so on are there. And it is the same thing everywhere, particularly the worship of the dead is very important, and so in all countries, everywhere we have been doing it. And some great men, when the whole society is weak, some great man tries to come and take it up, he becomes the god of that society. And so that's how we include all these gods, goddesses, all this. And if you look into it, I can be a worshipper of Jesus, I can be a worshipper of Allah, I can be a worshipper of Goddess. So all possible. I can be also not worshipper of any of these things. So, but mostly nowadays we begin to believe in ritual in expectation of some benefit immediately. So Sankara, the great Advaita Vedantini, would say, Vastu siddhir vicharena na kinchit karma kodibihi. Even crores of rupee rituals, karma is ritual, will not give you. It is for the strength of your mind. But you can't get anything except the strong mind to withstand this. That's all. That's what he says. So, it is a faith. You can believe, no harm. You may also require to believe because you need to withstand it. So many calamities all around me, I am so helpless. So I look to some divine. But not these, what people are coming now with, I am a yogi, I am a miracle, all these are not basic or fundamental of Hinduism. You can read, you can see it is Atma Jyoti. So it's Atma Jnana Yoga. Yoga is how you practice it, your mind, your physical body, your words. All these things are controlled gradually to realize the power in you, and that is called yoga. And that is what is taught by Buddha. Ashtanga Yoga Dharma Pratishthapanacharya. He says, one of the inscriptions says that he established the Ashtanga Yoga is the Dharma Chakra Pravartana. So, yoga is the most important thing, that is by discipline that you cultivate, and these are all required at the initial stages, but not for giving you everything in you. And so, your own knowledge, your own visualization, There approved.
Yes, sir.
Sir, please come.
I can talk loudly. நீங்க ஒன்று சொல்லும்போது 3000 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி வைவஸ்வதமனு இருந்தார் அப்படின்னு அந்த தர்மசாஸ்திரம் வந்ததாக நீங்க சொல்லியிருக்கீங்க. It's not this Dharmashastra eternal. That is, I want only a short answer. I don't want a big answer. This Dharmashastra is not 3000 years old. It is eternal because it, I don't know. The second thing you said, a king from Assam, Bhaskara Varman, and his brother was captured by Gaudas from Bengal. And after the war was won, he was taken to Bengal and some taxes were levied on people of these Assam people. According to Dharma Shastra, is it taxation after winning a war? Is it in Dharma Shastra? One. That is big, this one. And short answer, sir. One short request. I want
Your question is very long, please be short. Your question is very long, please be short.
Yes. I have a request. Please sing that song of Akbar that you sang at the beginning. That was very nice.
No, you know, in the history of hello, no, it's all right. You see, in the history of the world, development of civilization, Indians developed an extraordinary faculty which has been approved by the United Nations as contribution to preservation of knowledge by the Indians. What is it? The Vedas were never written for two reasons. One, Vedas are accented sentences, you see, it's up, down level. This cannot be written in script. For example, music, sa, re, ga, ma, pa, da, ni, sa, you have to get 2 matras, 3 matras, sometimes when the raga goes according to the emotion, it may even go to 5 or 6. This can never be written down by script. That has to be listened. So it is called Sriti. And so they developed a system by which you can preserve the entire poem, word by word, letter by letter, and how each letter is pronounced like that. And so this system is very unique contribution of Indians in preservation of knowledge. This is how the entire Veda was preserved. And this has been examined by the United Nations and other scientists, and they say it is extraordinary. That's why when we say music, we don't write down in music, you say what is Shiksha. You have to hear, and by that only you can understand the modulation of voice and so on. So, up to certain point of time, we had unwritten text preserved without alteration in India. So when Manu wrote, there was no need for that writing down, and it was transmitted orally. And Manu himself asked these questions, what question you have asked, how do you know that this is there in the Veda? And then he said, I am very close to Veda. I have studied the Veda with all these ups and downs and level sound values, and I am also a practitioner of it, and much more nearer to Veda than you are. So I have tried to record what was there, and at that point of time, hearing alone is sufficient for preserving any law book or any of that type. But later on, when the society, more people were there, it became more complex. They have to deal with the complex problem. Then, by that time we have a written script introduced by Ashoka Maurya. Yajnavalkya says that you must reduce everything to writing. Even in the court, he said both the Vadi and Prativadi, whatever they say must be written down. Final, they say final. So, writing, then once it became an established fact. We have lost that faculty, except in some places where you can maintain it without reading it, without seeing it, but by hearing. But now we have reading, recognition, understanding. We want everything to be written down. And so, Yajnavalkya, from his time onwards, everything was written down. Before that, it was only.
We'll stop with this. Yeah. You do the first.
Dear Dr. Sri Nagaswamy ji, thank you very much for enlightening us. We cherished this moment, and everything you have said makes absolute sense and makes us feel very proud about our heritage, our culture, and what we have contributed towards shaping up the society. So, thanks for taking us back to our roots, and we are indebted to you for that. And this is just a beginning. Again, we would like to have more such programs and hear such speeches. And what I'm really happy about is there are people who are coming from, who are experts in their own subjects and who have done eminent work, whether it's T.R. Ramesh ji or D.K. Hari ji, and a lot more of you are here. That is what is important, because you all carry this message and amplify it. And if normal folks who come, yes, they learn, but these guys amplify it further, and that is even more important for the cause. So thank you everyone who have come here, and for making this evening great. And on behalf of Virat Hindustan Sangam Tamilnadu, I would like to thank the venue providers, for the press, Dinamalar, for covering this program, and all the volunteers. Thank you very much.
Janagana Mana Adhinayaka Jai